Good morning, dear students. Today we will talk about the article and its usage in context and describing people. So the first one is definition of articles. Articles are very important words in English, and so is their knowledge. Articles in English are used before the noun to limit or define the uses of the nouns in context of the sentence. They impart effectiveness and accuracy to the nouns. In fact, articles are used as demonstrative adjectives and determiners before nouns. And the next one is, what is the definite article? Uncover its functions with examples. The definite article is a tiny but mighty word with tremendous significance in English grammar. In simpler terms, it refers to the word and the yes, that's right. A single letter can have a remarkable impact on how we communicate. And the next one is the function of the definite article. Now that we know the definite article, and let's dive into its function. The primary purpose of the definite article is to specify and indicate a particular noun as something already known or previously mentioned in a conversation or text. It highlights a specific person, place, thing, or idea. Examples of definite article in action. To grasp the concept better, let's explore some examples of how the definite article is used in sentence. The sun is shining brightly today. In this sentence, the refers to a specific sun we see in the sky. It implies that there is only one sun we are talking about. And I saw the dog chasing the cat. Here, the is used before both dog and the cat. It suggests that the speaker and the listener are referring to a specific dog and a specific cat, perhaps ones that they have been mentioned before or are known in a particular context. Different forms of the definite article. Article the might be just the only definite article, but it takes the form of many definite articles depending on the context. You can become a master of articles in English grammar after you figure out what is the many forms of the definite articles. As the basic form of the definite article, and we should learn its use in different contexts. There is a rock star of the definite article family. The basic form is the foundation for all the different forms we encounter in English grammar. Usage of the in different contexts and the sentence types. There is used in various contexts and sentence types to give specificity and uniqueness to nouns. Let's explore some of these contexts. Specific nouns. That refers to a particular noun already known to both the speaker and the listener. It indicates that there is only one of its kind. Example: I saw the most beautiful sunset yesterday. Explanation: in this sentence, the is used before sunset to indicate a specific sunset that the speaker witnessed and wants to emphasize. And unique objects. The refers to unique objects or things with no other counterparts. Example: the moon is shining brightly tonight. Here, the is used before moon because there is only one moon, and it is the one visible in the night sky. And superlatives. The is used before superlative adjectives. Example: the best of or the worst, to indicate the highest or lowest quality. Example: he is the youngest person in the room. In this sentence, the is used before youngest to emphasize that the person being described is the one with the highest height compared to others in the room. And specific groups. The refers to a particular group of people or objects. For example, the students gathered in the auditorium. The is used before students to specify a group of gathered in the auditorium. And certain nouns. The uses specific nouns like oceans, rivers, mountains, and geographical features. Example, they went camping near the river. In this sentence, the is used before river to indicate a specific river they went camping near instead of any random river. Using the with vowels and consonants. Get an instant understanding of the rules with the examples that exhibits a fascinating linguistic show when it encounters nouns that begin with vowel or consonant sounds. Let's uncover the rules for its use. Nouns with vowel sounds. When a noun begins with a vowel sound, we use the to create a transition between the article and the noun. I saw the elephant at the zoo. The is used before elephant, which starts with the vowel sound e. It ensures a smooth flow of language and indicates a specific elephant, the one the speaker saw at the zoo. Nouns with consonant sounds. When a noun begins with a consonant sound, we use the but with a slight rhythmic shift. Instead of focus on the consonant itself, we pay attention to the sound that the first letter of the noun creates. Example, the cat is sleeping on the mat. In this sentence, the is used before cat, which starts with the consonant K. However, since the sound created by C, K is similar to a consonant, we use the before cat to indicate a specific cat, the one sleeping on the mat. So using the with specific and general nouns, its different uses and examples. This serves as our compass, guiding us through the specific and general nouns. Specific nouns. When referring to a specific noun, the acts as a spotlight, emphasizing an already known or mentioned entity. Example, I saw the car you were talking about. In this sentence, the is used before car to indicate a specific car previously discussed or known to both the speaker and the listener. And general nouns. In contrast, the is used when discussing general nouns. General nouns refer to categories or ideas in a broader sense without specifying any particular entity. Example, cats are known for their agility. In this sentence, cats is a general noun representing the entire category of cats. Since we are discussing cats in a general sense, that isn't needed. The transition from general to specific. Sometimes a general noun becomes specific within the context of a sentence, leading to the usage of the. Example, I saw a dog. The dog was chasing its tail. And the next one is singular nouns. Concerning singular nouns, the pinpoints a particular entity, highlighting its uniqueness amidst with the vast possibilities. Example, I saw the cat sitting on the fence. And the next is plural nouns. Just as the highlights singular nouns, it distinguishes plural noun, emphasizing a specific set or group among many possibilities. For example, the flowers in the garden bloom beautifully. In this sentence, the is used before flowers to highlight a specific group of flowers referring to the ones discussed in the garden. Then uncountable nouns. When dealing with uncountable nouns as water, love, information, the refers to a specific portion or instance of that root noun. Example, she enjoyed the water at the beach. In this sentence, the is used before water to indicate a specific instance of water, the one experienced at the beach. Definite and the indefinite articles. So, quick overview of the difference with examples. And definite and indefinite articles are essential for expressing specificity and generality in English. The definite article the refers to a specific or previously mentioned nouns, pointing out their distinctiveness within the context. So, the cat is sleeping on the mat. In this sentence, the is used before cat to indicate a specific cat, the one that is currently sleeping on the mat. I saw the movie you recommended. Here, the is used before movie to refer to a specific movie recommended by someone known to the speaker. And indefinite articles. Indefinite articles are used to refer to a non-specific or unidentified nouns indicating a general or uncertain nature. Example, I saw a cat in the garden. In this sentence, a is used before cat to refer to any cat in general without specifying a particular one. For example, she bought an apple from the grocery store. The definite article the, its usage, rules, and exceptions. The is a linguistic chameleon, a master of specificity that leaves a mark on our expressions. General usage rules, the refers to specific nouns already known and mentioned in a conversation or text. For example, open the book on page 10. In this sentence, the is used before book to indicate a specific book known to both the speaker and the listener. It distinguishes this particular book from others that may be present. Unique contexts. The showcases its versatility in specific contexts beyond simple specificity. For example, superlatives or accompany superlatives which express the highest degree of quality or attribute. Example, she is the shortest girl in the class. In this sentence, the is used before shortest to emphasize the possesses the highest height among the girls in the class. So, and unique entities. The refers to unique entities such as famous landmarks, historical events, and the specific geographic features. They visited the Eiffel Tower during their trip to Paris. In this sentence, the is used before Eiffel Tower because it's a well-known and unique structure recognized globally. And before musical instruments. The is used when referring to musical instruments in a general sense. For example, she can play the piano beautifully. Here, the is used before piano to refer to the instrument in a general sense, instead of specific piano. Geographical locations. The is used while referring to a particular location, places, and water bodies. Example, he bought the farm where he used to work. Here, the is used to refer to a specific farm where the person had worked in the past. And exceptions and omissions. While the is versatile, there are exceptions and instances where it's omitted. Plural and uncountable nouns. The is not used before plural or uncountable nouns when referring to them. Example, dogs are royal companions. Dogs is a plural noun used generically, so the is unnecessary here. Proper nouns. The is generally not used before proper nouns unless they are of a specific type. Example, I visited Paris last summer. In this sentence, Paris is a proper noun and the isn't needed unless referring to a specific aspect of Paris, such as the Louvre Museum. Names of countries. The isn't used with the name of country unless the name is in its plural form or has the words states, kingdom, or republic in it. For example, I visited the Czech Republic during the summers. Since the country's name had the word republic, the definite article the is placed before it. Tips for identifying the in context. Contextual clues. Look for the clues in the sentence that suggest specificity or previous mention of a noun. Familiarity and uniqueness. They often accompany well-known and distinct entities, such as famous landmarks or geographical features. Comparison and contrast. The may be used when comparing or contrasting different instances of the same noun. So if we conclude, we should properly know the article, its usage, and then we should use it. And the next theme is describing people. When you need to describe things, ideas, or people in English, finding the right words isn't always easy. Even native English speakers struggle to find the right descriptive words at times. It is especially hard when you need to describe a person, as people can have very distinctive looks, personalities, and behavior. Nonetheless, learning how to describe a person is vital to becoming fluent in English. In this video, we will cover some of the best phrases to describe a person, as well as useful tips to help keep your description positive and friendly. So, how to describe someone's appearance? Talking about how someone looks is complicated for a couple of reasons. First of all, describing someone's appearance can seem a little rude, even if you are trying to say something nice. People don't like to feel objectified, made to feel like an object instead of a person. So it's important to always keep physical descriptions very positive. However, if you are talking with people that you don't know very well, it's probably best to avoid describing a person's appearance entirely. In any case, here are a few general tips to keep in mind when describing people's appearance. Start with the very general descriptions. Using general descriptions will help you describe someone without having to go into specific details. For example, you can describe someone's appearance by talking about their gender, height, weight, age, hair color, or eye color. However, remember that some people can be sensitive about these descriptions, especially weight and age. So keep this in mind when you need to describe people. Try to avoid subjective descriptions. Subjective descriptions can be mean sometimes. For example, describing someone as fat or ugly is very rude and hurtful. Try to avoid using subjective descriptions whenever possible, especially if you are talking with or about someone you are just met. If you need to be subjective, keep it positive. Not all subjective descriptions are bad. So if need to give your opinions about how someone looks, try to be as nice as possible. That said, even positive descriptions can feel a little invasive or forward, so use your best judgment when describing people subjectively. Now let's look at a few positive appearance adjectives to help get you started. How to describe a person's personality. It's important to learn how to describe someone's physical features, but it's even more important to learn how to describe someone's personality. Personalities are complex, making them difficult to put into words. Nonetheless, there are plenty of great ways to describe someone's personality and character traits. When you are describing someone's personality, you should take some of the same precautions that you would when describing their appearance. It's always best to keep things positive and avoid hurting anyone's feelings. That's why positive adjectives are so useful. Intellectual ability, it means lots of ability. If you have lots of ability, you can use these words while describing someone. Intelligent, bright, clever, sharp, and shrewd. Able, gifted, talented, and brainy. Brainy is informal, or you may say lacking ability. If someone is lacking ability, you may use these words: stupid, foolish, simple, silly, brainless, daft, dumb, dim, sick. And the last 5 are predominantly informal words, and they can be all offensive. If someone is clever in a negative way, using brains to trick or deceive, you can use these adjectives: cunning, crafty, sly. So, while describing attitudes towards life, we can use some kind of adjectives. For example, Akmal is pessimistic while Nora is optimistic. It means he always expects the worst to happen while she looks on the bright side. And it's strange that one of the twins is so extroverted while the other is so introverted. Hassan loves being the fox of the attention, while Zuhra prefers to be alone with her thoughts. And I feel very tense or wound up or stressed out after a very busy day at work, but after hot baths, I'll soon feel relaxed. One more example is Oisha is very sensible, and she would never do anything stupid. In other words, she is very practical and down to earth. Rabia is very sensitive and she gets very upset or worked up. It is more informal if she feels people are criticizing her. And attitude towards the other people. Enjoying others' company. If you enjoy in others' company, we can call sociable or gregarious. And disagreeing with others. For this kind of people, we can use quarrelsome and argumentative. If you take pleasure in others' pain, it means cruel and sadistic. And relaxed in attitude to self and others, we may use adjectives easygoing, even-tempered, and laid-back. If someone is very not polite to others, we can use adjectives impolite, rude, ill-mannered, or discourteous. Telling the truth to others, honest, trustworthy, reliable, and sincere. Unhappy if others have what you do or what you don't have yourself. Jealous and envious. So pay attention to this proverb. One person's meat is another person's poison. What does it mean? Some characteristics can be either positive or negative depending on your point of view. Some words mean roughly the same as the words in the below given, except that they have negative rather than positive connotations. Here are the positive associations and negative associations. Determined. This is positive. So negative are obstinate, stubborn, and kick-headed. Thrifty, positive, and economical is also positive. But negative is stingy, mean, tight-fisted, and miserly. Self-assured is positive, whereas confident is also positive. Self-important, arrogant, and full of yourself, they are negative. Unconventional and original, they are positive. And whereas eccentric, odd, peculiar, and weird, they are negative adjectives. Frank, direct, open, they are positive, but blunt, abrupt, cross, curt, they are negative. Broad-minded, this is positive. Unprincipled, And the permissive, this is negative. And the next one is inquiring is positive, whereas the inquisitive and nosing are negative. Generous is positive and extravagant is negative. Innocent, opposite is naive. Ambitious, opposite is not the opposite, negative meaning pushy. Assertive, this is positive meaning. Aggressive and bossy are negative. There are examples that include some of the positive and negative adjectives to describe personality in English. So, here are some examples. He's shy, he never talks to anybody. And he's talkative, and she never stops talking. I consider myself lazy, I don't like to work hard. And he is always kind with new students. My dad is optimistic, he thinks everything is going to be alright. We are very bright students, they are very funny, they are always make friends laugh. She is quiet, she never says much. And he is very honest man, he will tell you the truth. She is jealous and she doesn't want others to win. Thank you for your attention.